Our next guest ruled the 90s charts with her hit single Touch It and went on to a wildly successful career as an R&B songstress. After a brief hiatus, she's back in the studio and she's added reality TV star to her resume.
Here to talk about the new season of R&B Divas Atlanta and her life on and off the screen is singer Monifah.
Hey guys.
Hey, how are you?
I am wonderful.
You look great, girl.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank
We're
you very
serving
much.
it in those shoes. I love it.
Thank you. Thank you.
So talk to us about R&B Divas Atlanta. It features everyone from you to Faith Evans. What's it been like to work with this cast of women?
The first season was Faith Evans, Nikki Gilbert from Brownstone, Selena Johnson, Kiki Wyatt. Oh, jeez. Yeah, it was just us then. It was amazing, you know, because when we started the show, when we first signed on, it was just about telling the story. You know, we all have been in this business long time and have gone through a lot of things, some great and some not so great. And we felt like it was time to share our story. So it was wonderful working with, you know, Faith, who is someone I've known for a long time. You know, we kind of came up under the tutelage of two very good friends and colleagues, Puff and Heavy D.
Oh, yeah.
So, you know, we kind of came up in the same arena, so to speak, and time. And so it was really good to, as well as Nikki, and it was really good to work with them and be on the cast with them.
All right, well, let's check out a clip of the show.
Okay.
It was literally a misunderstanding.
My phone ain't ring. Now, one time you ain't call and say, yo, what happened? Blah, blah, blah.
As soon as I left, what did I do? I text you a sad face.
We're adults. We use words like, come on, Kiki. That is not behavior that we should be ever doing to each other. I don't even know how I feel about extending an invitation to my special day because I don't know how you're gonna act.
Wow.
Wow.
Ooh, the drama.
I was in my yo, you know, because I was really, you know, upset at that point. You know, we had a misunderstanding, but it was. You know, I think she just went a little too far, and it was a very sensitive time for me.
Yeah.
Planning my wedding, it was my engagement party. I had already not been able to share the news, you know, at the end of the last season, and I just, you know, I had some things I needed to get off, and I'm glad we were able to sit down and talk about it.
Were you able to work it out?
You gotta see tonight. You gotta tune in tonight.
Teaser.
At 10 p.m.
Give us a little something.
I can't. You gotta watch it.
Just wink.
Okay.
Friends or no? Wink, wink.
Okay. Well, you know, you see a lot of drama unfolding in these shows, so were you ever hesitant about joining the cast, or did you jump at the opportunity?
I actually jumped at the opportunity because, you know, it's funny you said brief hiatus, and the hiatus actually in my recording has been 14 years now.
Wow.
March made 14 years since my last album. 14 years, yes.
Time flies.
Ooh. So, you know, I left, and I wasn't hesitant because I've gone through so much personally, and you know, as a woman striving to maintain and survive and feed her family, you know, all doing this thing called music, the business of music. You know, it was a struggle for me in a lot of pockets, and you know, I didn't know if I wanted to continue on, and I didn't record. I was still doing music. I was doing my acting, you know, stuff, and here and there maintaining, but you know, personally, you know, I had some demons I needed to fight.
Really?
And kill.
You know, what were some of those demons that you had to fight and kill?
You know, I had alcohol, cocaine addiction, and you know, I went through that for a period of years. That was, you know, just kind of, you know, just escaping, distraction, self-medicating, and then I just, you know, finally figured out that I wanted to be great. You know, what we're all put here for.
How long have you pressure from the industry that drove you to drugs and alcohol? Was it just a confluence of events? What was it?
I would say that was the catalyst. You know, I was dropped from Universal. I was really no one's baby up there anymore. You know, Hev had moved on, and you know, they just decided that, you know, they were going to sever ties, and which was fine. It's just the way they did it. They did it really strange, and as a few people say, unceremoniously. But they just sent a box to my house, and so it was. I had everything, all of my career with Universal. No, you know, thank you for the. Not a phone call, not a letter, nothing. And so it kicked up some stuff.
Items, and that was
items of clips from different shows and all kinds of stuff, you know, just in the box.
My goodness.
So it kicked up abandonment issues, which, you know, probably propelled all of the the self, the numbing and all of that, and just escaping. But I'm here, with a new perspective on life, living, loving, and I'm really, I'm glad that I'm who I am right now and where I am mentally and spiritually.
Did you have an epiphany? Was there a moment where you
turning
said to yourself, I want to take my life back?
Yeah, because I know that we're not created to be anything less than greatness, and I just asked him to, God to keep me in my mess, and that when I made the decision to get right, I guess, to live right, and live and take care of myself and love myself, that I was going to do it and not turn back, and so here I am, with a whole new lease.
And how long have you been clean now?
It is, it's been, well, from the cocaine, that's been, oh my gosh, it's been almost 4 years.
Wow.
And I stopped drinking alcohol, it's been almost 7 months.
Wow.
Congratulations.
Well, congratulations.
Yeah. Thank you.
And
Thank
we're so
you.
glad you're here.
Thank you. I've done all that stuff. I mean, I'm 42.
You're over it.
Yeah, I want to feel what it feels like to be, sober and just moving in a clear space completely.
Well, that clear space is allowing you to be creative in the studio as well.
Yes.
Tell us about the upcoming album you're working on. What can we expect?
Oh my gosh! As you can imagine, I was kind of trepidatious about this project, especially the great thing about this business is that as an independent artist, you have total control. You live and die by your own decisions.
That's true.
And there's nothing greater than that as an artist. But there's also nothing more scary. So I've been working my project for about the better half of 2 years, where I really felt ready and confident to get back in the studio and tell my story and just pour it all out and leave it on the mic.
Right.
And I'm now at the business end of it, like figuring out what songs. I'm still finishing up, still working with a couple of different new producers that not new, but new producers to the project.
Yeah.
So I'm just really, I have my business hat on, so I can finagle and figure out what's the best route for me.
What's it like to have your business hat on now?
I love it. I
Yeah.
love it. I mean, I've always been involved in my career, but now everything is on me. The onus is on me completely. And I actually like that because that's what, living your life in truth and fullness is about.
Let's talk about living your life in fullness and in truth. You actually came out to people on your show. Why did you decide to be so open? Because there are a number of people who still live a closeted life, a life that is not full and true, as you say.
Well, yeah, I mean, I definitely did because I'm in a beautiful and healthy relationship, and I knew that this would be it for me. And it's a part of my life, so, why wouldn't I share it? I'm happy, it's healthy, productive, loving. And definitely wanted to. There needs to be some normalization in that area, and it's definitely not a lot of women or people of color that you see these connections with on TV. We're not represented, so we felt it was important, as well as my daughter and I sharing, the fact that that I was very young when I had her. I was on the road. Our relationship suffered, and us rebuilding that connection, and also her belief, that homosexuality is a sin, and us working through that and agreeing to disagree and loving each other through. We all wanted to show this process because people are going through that all over the world, and they need to know that they're not alone.
Did you ever have any trepidation about being open about your life?
Not at all. I felt like it was my duty because my life was saved. The story could have ended like it ended for Phyllis or Whitney, or, I could go on, Billie, Billie Holiday. I can go on, and I just really wanted to end the story differently.
Yeah.
Well, did you think that you had to previously hide your sexuality in order to be successful in the business? And what's the reaction been since you've come out?
Well, I never felt like I needed to hide. I did me. I've always kind of I've been a rebel, with a cause.
I like that.
In the 90s, I mean, I was, dating both men and women, and I never hid it, but I didn't talk about it because, clearly the 90s weren't ready for, a bisexual woman of color.
That's true.
They weren't ready. Of course, there were things, jiving around and stuff like that. But no, I mean, and it doesn't define me, but because I'm doing a reality show, why would I? hide.
True.
For what?
Do you feel other people have an obligation or a duty, as you said, to be open about their lives, to come out of the closet?
I think people have a duty to do what they need to do for themselves.
Gotcha.
And you recently married your partner, so will we
I
get to
sure
see a
did.
wedding on the show?
Now that I can tell you, that
Okay.
yes, you will.
Oh,
Yes.
okay. So that's exciting news.
Great.
Yes, it's awesome. It was a beautiful day, and shared it with close friends and family, and it was amazing.
All right. Let's talk about Touch It.
Yes, got to get to it. Touch it.
I mean, that was so huge. Did you
I
have any
know.
idea that it would go on to be such a huge hit? And where were you when you first heard the song on the radio?
Oh gosh, I can't remember. I probably was hungover from hanging out the night before. but it was. I knew that there was something special about the song. Music is music.
Yeah.
And I think I grew up on all types of music. I wasn't going to not do the record. I thought it was amazing. It's a White Horse sample. I mean, it's for crying out loud.
Yeah.
You can't and it was sexy and fun and kind of campy. You know what I mean? And I enjoyed recording it. So it just kind of gave me a whole new audience. As from an R&B artist, I crossed over into this, this pop radio, this top 100 radio hit. Like,
And all the
it's on
remixes.
Consecutive number one for 16 weeks.
Wow,
It's
16
crazy.
weeks.
Dance chart, top
So when can we
100.
expect your next #1 album to drop?
Summer,
soon?
I'm releasing a single, and I'm thinking somewhere towards the end of the summer, the entire album.
Okay.
right.
And then
It's just a
R&B
lot of
Divas
fun.
tonight on TV1.
Every Wednesday at 10 p.m. on TV1.
All right. Well, we're
Yes.
there. And come back when the album drops, all
I
right?
would love to. I would love to.
right.
I had a ball. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Miss
guys.
Monifah. And you're watching Arise Entertainment 360.